Morning, Reg. How you doing? Pull my audio down just a little bit. Saw that it kind of spiked there. Do it about right there for the morning. How you doing, man? Just getting started. See here. So we saw the SPY pullback. Kind of concerned me to get started. Saw it pull back below those 387.37 levels, and I was hoping it would stay above it. I expected give me a second. All right. There we go. And then okay, I'm back. Pretty good. First green day in a minute. Looking to make it 2. Good morning, Chad. How are you doing? Yeah, so as you guys may know, they will be voting on the stimulus package and its amendments in the House of Representatives today. If they approve it today, then it could be on Biden's desk by Friday, and we can expect those checks to start coming out next week. So we should see some liquidity coming into the market for those who have always dumped their stimulus checks either in the stock market or, into things that need to be taken care of. So we should see some money hitting the markets. Of course, that's concerning. The more that we keep pushing out, the worse it's going to get. So let me mute this Facebook chat for now. I keep forgetting to do that every day, and it continues to pop up across all my videos and stuff like that. But yeah, Reg, same here. Pretty good. I mean, this will be my 4th green day since, well, I don't even know at this point. Like, I've been doing pretty well with our small account challenge. As some of you guys may or may not know, what I wanted to do was take $100, throw it in an account, and what's up, Steve? How you doing? Throw it in the account and see what I can do with it. Well, we're currently sitting at, and that was last Monday, so I'm going on a week and a half, and we're currently sitting at 1261.51. I have some PLs open for about $200. They were my option calls that I made on RMO, NKLA, and FSEL. For the most part, most of those are up 2-3%. FSEL's up 5% this morning, breaking above $16, which is what I wanted to see. Nikolai actually broke above $16 as well. So should see some greens opening up as soon as the market opens. But Tesla is kind of concerning me. It can't seem to hold above 680. Needed above 700 to break this downward trend that it's been in over the past few days, to bring back the EV markets and stuff like that. We all been reviewing that, so I'm not going to go too far in depth on that. Good morning, Jeff. How you doing? I know a lot of people have been watching SNDL. As it rebounded, I wanted to see where it was at this morning. Like I've been telling everybody, I don't think, I think the comfort level here is as long as it stays above 136. it can build the platform to retest those 155s, which have been strong resistance on it. Needs to keep pushing higher, ultimately. And then, of course, Steve's big on DPW, so I'm going to go ahead and get into that. As it broke above $4 this morning, currently sitting at 384. Now, I know these charts might look weird to you, so I'll kind of simplify it a little bit and make it easier for us to see. Figured out how to do that a lot easier now, so love trading view. But what I wanted to see with DPW is, good morning, Antoine. How you doing, man? Glad to have you here. Whoever else is here, appreciate you all for coming this morning. If you would, what's up, Justin? Glad to see you here this morning. I know you missed yesterday. If y'all could, just share this link real quick on Facebook to any other investors that you may be interested in. Yeah, so Oshkosh, to answer your question, Oshkosh won the USPS contract over Workhorse, which pulled Workhorse down, I think, from like, let's see, came down, I want to say, from like $30 or something crazy. $40 it was trading in, $30 to $40 range. It's sitting at 16. I felt like it was a good buy at $16 levels. It did break down below that 15-14, which was a previous level of support or resistance, either one back in like June, July. So you're really buying this on discount to hold it long term. The EV space is so big, whether it's government contracts, commercial contracts, or consumer industries. I still feel like, Workhorse had the opportunity to capitalize on a lot of market share that they weren't necessarily focused on in regards to this USPS contract. So then Oshkosh won the contract. Then I believe like some Democratic senators had an issue with it or something, and that's what's the cause for this investigation. I don't know exactly the details on the investigation, but the fact that you're saying that Oshkosh, Workhorse might still be in it. As soon as the Democratic senators said something about it, I had the same assumption from that point, and I actually was looking at getting into Workhorse myself, but I didn't jump right into it off of that news because of the fact that Tesla was pulling down on everything. I expected some of these prices to be cheaper, which they have been, and a great opportunity for us to hop into these EV plays. Of course, Tesla bounced back up to near $700. I think it landed right at, let me look up here. I got it up here as well. Let's see, right at 687. So I was really looking forward to find the momentum to break through that 687 level. I'm going to go back to Tesla because just like with your Bitcoin plays, you can watch Bitcoin, or your crypto plays, you can watch Bitcoin all day. With this, you can watch Tesla. And as you can see, Tesla is currently working on an EMA crossover on the 4-hour and has already completed that on the 1-hour. Now, with that being said, I expect Tesla to continue to run. But what concerns me is I've seen this before where you see the EMA crossover start to conduct or complete. And once the 34 hits that 55, it tends to, reverse. So what I'm looking at is potentially hopping out. Depending on how we open the market, I'm going to hop out of these EV call options that I have, as sweet as they look and as great as they sound, because Tesla is showing potential for a reversal back to the downside for some downward pressure. Good morning, Justin. Appreciate it. You watch some of them? Thank you. Always feel free to give me your feedback on any of those videos, comment on any of them. A lot of the videos that I've been focused on, without not to change the subject too quick, I always tend to get sidetracked a lot, but with me not doing any like alerts or anything like that on positions that we're making due to the markets and how wonky they've been, I've just been doing trade reviews on stocks that are breaking out so that I can provide that information to people and they're not caught and holding bags and they can find better entries. So that's a lot of the reviews you're going to see. But thank you for that ultimately. But looking back at Tesla, potentially having some issues, as you can see, these levels of support right here that it previously had around the 670s, 680s. was something I wanted to see it above, and that's why, because it was previous support, and I was scared that it was going to become resistance for Tesla moving forward into today, even with the markets going green and stuff like that. I was worried it was going to run into that road bump. Now, it might retrace a little bit, fill that small gap back to like the 660s. I think I said yesterday anything below 666 I was going to sell because that was a support level I was paying attention to. Now, with that being said, I'm not saying this can't continue running. It is Tesla. And a lot of people are disappointed that it's pulled back as much as it has. I think it's a healthy pullback. And at the same time, I feel like it's a discounted rate. So you're getting it all, you're getting it about 60% off of where it was. Yeah, I wasn't going to hold overnight. Fortunately, I felt a little bit comfortable because during after hours, Tesla sat about 680, and it gave me a little bit of confidence in holding my calls, because I think right now, if I can look at my phone real quick while y'all give me a second, I can give you an idea of what I'm looking at in my exchange. In my exchange being what I'm losing on my options versus what I can make for every dollar they go up, and that looks something like, let's see. So my delta on these stocks is 219 for every dollar they go up combined. Okay, I'll make $219. My theta is negative $6. So for every day that I wait, I lose $6 to all three of these trades. All three of these trades amount to about now at this point are $891 altogether. So I can expect to lose $6 every day on that $819. But I also can expect to make a $219 gain. So it's basically a 213 to 1 ratio, if you want to call it that, or whatever. You know what I mean? Or not to do a ratio, but basically a 213 differential. And I find that positive. I think the EV space has been compressed so much that there's a lot of pent up demand in it. People are waiting for this to recover, and the fact that Tesla's breaking out, I'm pretty sure a lot of people are waiting to jump back into it. Institutional investors as well. A lot of people didn't even sell it. They're just buying it cheaper. I know that ARK, the ARK ETF company, if you know who they are, RAK, they're buying it as it goes down, continuing to buy it. So I'm very bullish on the entire market, regardless of what's going on. Diamond hands, buddy. Yes, sir. Going into it, though, we can look at some things. I want to start with one, focusing on the SPY and the QQQ. SPY hit about 389 yesterday, but took a dump. And it was crazy because right before it did, for some reason, I saw this weird gap in the SPY yesterday. I've never seen this intraday gap. I'm going to try to find it. But it threw me off for a loop, man. I was like, oh, no, I'm hopping out of this. I don't know where it was. I don't know if it was a glitch in the system, but, I mean, there was a hard gap in there. And I've never seen a gap down like that, or even a gap up for that matter, intraday in between candlesticks. Not too common. I've seen it before, just not on the SPY. And as soon as I saw it, I was like, man, I'm getting out of this. And I ended up selling it. I think it was right in this area, actually. I can't remember where it was. It may have been on like the 10-minute or something I was watching. And it caught my attention, and I got out. And then after that, it just bled out and dropped back down to these 386 levels. And it's currently been riding sideways above 386. I want to say 50 or something like that. Let me see. Of course, we do have the House voting on the stimulus bill. I think that's going to play a part. But another thing that you have to consider on the opposite side of the table is the fact that the 10-year Treasury yield jumped up 2 points overnight. It is still only 1 point up for the week. It was ended at about 155 last Friday. It gapped up to 158. Topped out at 160 and then gapped back down to 154, and ever since then has been up 2 points. So ultimately for this week we're only up 1 point, so it's kind of trending sideways. I do have the markets tracking. I'm tracking the markets, and I wanted to also add this to the overall view of the markets right now. As you can see, we're heavily pulling back from yesterday's peaks, down about 2.49% on U.S. equities, complete altogether. That's the Nasdaq, the Dow, the SPY, and the Russell. The SPY itself is down 2.49% overnight. And then international equities are down. The VIX jumped almost 7% last night, or a little bit above 7% since yesterday at 12:48. So I should have captured the markets when they closed, but I was more focused on whether or not I was going to sell right there at the end. And as you can see, crude's picking up, so you can expect some of those stocks to play well today. But overall score right now is a -1. And it really doesn't concern me until we get into like the -3s or the -5s more so. Sometimes you'll see a -7 or a 9. You never really see over a 9, whether it's up or down on the scorecard. I have seen 11s, and that was when we had our hardest pullbacks. I think it was like in June, and then the one in September or something like that. Anyways, back to my point. So I'm gonna be watching this. I'm gonna go ahead and track it again now. It's 7:30, so I'm doing it on an hour by hour basis. That way, when the market opens, the next time I track it, it'll be market open at 8:30. And you'll see this green for now. That's just because I tracked it, but it's picking up just a little bit in the last 5 minutes. So this web page that I built, it refreshes itself every 5 minutes to give me an update. And if I were to load it again, you'll kind of get an idea of where we were just a few minutes ago, 1 minute ago. So, but I take that for a grain of salt. But I'll be watching this moving forward. But like I said, the SPY pulled back to 387.04 right now, pre-market. Good morning, J-Dub. How you doing, man? Glad to have you all here. Thank you all. Like I said earlier, if y'all all could take a second to just share this link to the YouTube channel on like Facebook or Twitter or something, that'd be great. I'd appreciate it. I'm not sure if we have any new members here. If you're new here, feel free to let everybody know, and welcome ultimately. RMO looking good this morning. Yes, sir. I just saw that, Jeff. I'm glad everybody was able to make some greens off of that yesterday. I know a lot of people are watching it. I think Nick jumped in it. I know Jeff jumped in it. I can't remember it. Whoever else has RMO, like, that company's a beast, man. I don't know what to tell you. I haven't done enough done the type of DD on any other company as in depth as I went with RMO. But I'm very comfortable with it. You can see the SPY propping up for 388. We have about 30 minutes away from the House starting their vote. Of course, there could be objections and stuff like that to consider with the amendments to pay attention to. But back to the point. Something I noticed on the NASDAQ this morning, which was a little concerning, is that it's retesting those levels of resistance that it previously had. And I think it actually just broke below it. So let me look. Now, I know that Tesla is listed on the SPY, but I believe it's still considered a NASDAQ. So I'm not sure if it's duly listed. But as you can see, it's still listed on the SPY. It's at 683. I want this above 700, and then we'll see greens across the board. SNDL still moving up. Well, that's what you want to see. It looks like right at these levels, it's going to find some shorter term resistance. 95% gains. Let me see where mine's at. My RMO calls are currently up 40%. My NKLA is actually up 12%, and then my FSL is up 33%. These are option calls, of course. I don't own any of the stocks. I did options versus equity because we did not have confirmation that the entire EV market was still going up. So the money that I'm making off of it right now will allow me to buy into shares if the EV market was to pull back due to Tesla pulling back, just like I showed you earlier with that round off that we were looking at on the 1 hour. Of course, it's showing strong momentum on the lower time frames, but this is what I'm looking at. The fact that did its double dip RSI bounce, oversold. We can pull that up a little bit more to give you some, yeah. So you see it popped up above that 70, dropped below it, and bounced back above it. And now we're pulling down. So this could actually weigh down and come back a little bit before we move forward. I'm not saying it's going to be the way that it's necessarily just going to die out, but it's something I'm paying attention to very heavily. But back to the NQ. It's actually teetering on this 12,757 level. And I was hoping that it would find the support above it to, use that as a catalyst to move forward. But as you can see, we're riding along it. We can look at the 10 minute just to kind of get an idea of where it's currently at. Look at the 30 minute to see what our momentum swings are on it. So EMA is showing continued push through it. I think once the this bottom 55 touches that line, it's really going to take off. It's typically when I see launches like that. Bitcoin, I want to look at Bitcoin for any of your crypto plays that you may be in. That includes Mara, M-A-R-A. That includes Riot, R-I-O-T. Of course, DPW, which Steven's a large advocate of. And there's a whole nother list that we have. We have an entire watch list for crypto plays that we're slowly accumulating. I actually thought it was more than that. But anyways, it must have not saved the last time we updated this for some whatever reason, or I didn't update it at all. But there was another one that hit my news scanner this morning. EQs or EQOS. I always give these stocks some type of nickname. It's about $12, but it was recently like 40 something, I believe, from what I read, or 22. Okay, I'm sorry. So it's currently 22, but definitely something to look into as well. I'm gonna do some DD on it and get some more information on it myself to see how well the company's performing and stuff like that. I'm not gonna spend too much time on that this morning. I was happy to see that our coffee and stocks list that we have been watching. Look at those greens, man. I mean, just phenomenal. The best one, I added EXLA. We can look at DPW. We can go ahead and look at DPW before I get into that. DPW rounding off at 393, broke above $4. Steven, watch out for this level right here that it's currently at. It could play resistance for a little bit before it continues to run. That's on the 4 hour though. Let's look on the 1 hour. We're conducting an EMA crossover, so I do expect this to continue moving. Of course, it's oversold right now, so this could actually dip a little bit before it bounces again at a higher price point. And then, might consolidate a little bit, which is fine. But what I want to do is I have to readjust. I had to reset up my charts, and so I have to readjust my RSI. I do my RSI off of the 75 or the 75 and the 25 because it basically insinuates the oversold status is a lot more. But anyways, moving forward, I'm holding. They got a $3 million contract. All right, I'll do some DD on that myself. But for the most part, the past few days, pops on $3 million order from defense. Well, you know what? To be honest, I wonder what their I'm gonna look now, but what's their market cap? Because if you get a $3 million contract, that I would expect they're only $196 million company market cap, right? They only have 50,000 shares or 50 million shares on the market. So this is a low float stock, and it's easy to move. Low flow stocks are nice, especially when they have a purpose behind them. DPW having crypto plays. I think it's the EV charging stations, right? And I can't remember what else it was that I looked into myself. But to do the math in my head real quick, 1%. So basically, they just made about 1.5% of their market cap off of their $3 million contract. So I would have expected this to bounce a little bit more. Jeff, I don't think he bought the news. He's been in DPW. He's been a large advocate of it for some time now. So, but I would expect them to have a bigger pop off of this. So I don't know. Just speculating on that. But uh, looking forward, like I said, a lot of these plays doing very well. I added EXLA to the list yesterday. One of our members was in it. I think it was Justin. And he got in about 260, 240, 260. It's currently running at 650 right now. I did a video on it. And then not even 20 minutes after I released it, somebody comments on there and it's like, hey, you need to re-review this because it's already popped to 646. And this was after hours. It took off. And I did some analysis on it already. But what I would pay attention to if you're in this MGA, okay, we can look at that for sure. Not a problem. But what I would pay attention to looking at this moving forward is finding support on that 495 now. And I guess I'll have to do another review for people who don't necessarily join us for our coffee and stock sessions, but they watch the videos. The next level I would pay attention to is right around that 855 level. That was the last time I saw some resistance at these price points. So you're in a whole nother price range now. Pre-market sitting about midway in that price range. And if it can find the support above the 495, even if it were to pull back, I don't think it's going to because it's balling on the power that it's having going into pre-market. Looking very strong to pop up again and hit those $8 levels again. But ultimately, what I'm trying to say is watch out for the 855s next. I'm not saying it's not going to blow through those too. I'm just saying just be aware of your levels of resistance first and foremost. So that you know how to play the call if it runs into those levels and then it finds that resistance and pulls back for whatever reason. Just be ready to capture your own profits and you don't lose anything in the process. Anything beyond that would be somewhere probably around the 1038. So that's our price ranges that we're looking for. I'm not suggesting getting into this right now because it's too high for my own comfort level. I'm just, if you're already in the trade, just watch for those. I was looking at April calls on MGA. If there's any other stocks you guys want to look at, feel free to let me know. What's your strike price on April calls for MGA? If you already, it seems like you already were, looking into this. But in order for us to get started, we first need to do our analysis. So these levels that it's trading at catch my attention is the fact that it's tested these levels. It looks like on some type of catalyst, and it topped out right at 87.40. So you want it to stay above that even if it pulls back a little bit. But as you can see, even from March, I mean, it's been on a strong growth pattern. It broke above those pre-pandemic levels around the $57 price range at the end of the year. Good signal. That's probably one of the catalysts that kept pushing it moving forward. And now it's already up $30, give or take. So what I'm going to do is identify that level here. Once again, I see there's a few people in here this morning. If you're new here, feel free to let us know. I know we picked up some new subscribers over the past few days, and some of those people are hopping in. You got out? What did you get out at, Justin? I'm interested in knowing. But as far as this, let's see. I mean, it's never traded at these price levels before. Price range is strong. Let me do some DD on it real quick. Some quick fundamental analysis as well. It's not even providing anything. That's weird. So I'm going to have to really go in depth on it. Let me see. MGA. Trading lower. I don't even get a company profile. Oh, I wonder if my website will pull up more information than this will. Let's see. Give me just a second, guys. I'm looking this up for him. Not in NYSC. The hell? That's weird. I'll try to look this up real quick while we're sitting here. About 20 minutes out before they start voting. All right, GA. That's super weird why it's not showing up. I wonder why. Anyways, I was just trying to do some quick DD on it. I'm not sure why it's not popping up for us. But let me look into it a little bit more before I give you any analysis on it. I don't want to mislead you in any kind of way. Yes, but how many more can we do? USD printing, so I'll talk, yeah. Need my... Man, I'm on my second cup of coffee. Just because baby girl kept us up a little bit late. 410, man, you missed out on another few dollars there. I wish you could have captured those gains, but overall, I mean, you're almost up 100% on that, right? Let's go back to see what's going on in the markets while we're sitting here. Liquidity stocks. These are some of the stocks that I recommended yesterday. And as you can see, SOS is actually up 21%, FCell up 20%, RMO up 20%, SENS was up 20%, and Clove. So we weren't off at all. I'm starting to track these stocks that I'm recommending for you guys every morning. And I'm going to look at some more while we're here, just to give you some ideas. It looks like PBR is seeing a lot of liquidity jump into it. Currently trading at 727, but it's seeing some strong liquidity. It's about 422 million this morning, but currently in a downtrend, so this could be a sell-off. It's up 5% for the day, or for pre-market, that is. So definitely something to watch. I'm not recommending this just because it's in this strong downward trend. I mean, it's heavily oversold if you ask me. I just don't know any of the fundamentals on it, so let me look before I speculate anymore. Yeah, not looking good on year over year. Quarter over quarter looks good. EPS growth of 102%. Net profit margins up 122%. Market cap over common equity is up about 7 basis points above its current 5-year, but not strong. Not a 1 on it. Let's look at our next one though. MBT, currently trading at 848, seeing about 61 million in transactions this morning. It's a little low this morning, which is odd. It's typically some that are above 100 million and stuff like that, and the ones we saw yesterday were all above 100 million, so that's why I was pretty heavy on those. But I'm gonna just go through these and see what we can find. Also, I'm gonna pull out my indicators so we can actually see the stock charts. Looking at this one though, we have some support. Let's go off of this first. Boom. So I think if this breaks above that 861, this might be able to take off a little bit. That's not what I meant to do. Let's see. Yeah, so it's currently churning around its longer term trend right now. So this could bounce off of this 861 if it's able to hold its current position. But as you can see, it's kind of trading down a little bit. And then potentially retest like these 90, 940s and stuff like that. I'm not too comfortable with this one. I'm not even going to look at it too much longer. If it doesn't stand out to me immediately on my chart, then I'd just move on. SBSW. That thing's going straight up. This looks like the SPY. Exactly like it. Pull back my indicators, yeah. 1 hour. Has some pullback coming in, so watch out for it. But if it does pull back, you might find some entry right here. Looks like I gotta get the wifey some coffee, yeah. Tesla is sitting at 688. Glad to see that bounce this morning. That means my EV plays are gonna come. EV calls. Spent about $240 on $270 or so on my SPY calls. So it left me with $370 to play with in my calls today. I'm looking at holding the calls I have as long as everything continues moving. But give me 1 second. Let me go get the wife some coffee real quick. Good morning. Good morning. Say hello, world. So the little one woke up on us, so just gonna be chilling here with Daddy for a minute. But moving forward, I'm really watching the markets. Back to my point, I'm really watching just the overall futures. Going into today, we have broke our midterm trend line for the SPY, which was good. Allowed everything to go green. Bitcoin's tapping out at 56,000 right now. Crypto plays are coming up. Tesla's sitting at 391 right now, so we're retesting that $700 range. I'm gonna hop off cam for a minute. I'll take care of the little one. Yeah. But here you go. NQ is what I'm paying attention to, which it actually hopped up above the that support level I was hoping for, but it still has some work to do of breaking its longer term trend, and that's somewhere around here. I can do some let me do this. We can kind of identify that a little bit better. There we go. So let me do this. Let me get my indicators out of the way so I can actually see the stock. So about this compression zone right here is where I would hope for the NQ to pop out of. That's what I'm looking for. But I want it to stay above these 12,757 levels for sure. That'll bring up a lot of the markets and the tech industry. Definitely something to watch moving forward. I know a lot of people are watching SNDL with the microscope. Broke up to 146 currently. Like I said, we need to get above 155 with this. And I would feel a lot more comfortable with it. Probably do some calls at that time if it found support above those levels. I ultimately think it's going to go to 235 once it builds the support off of 155. If it gets above 155, I'm looking at a buy zone between 155 and 171. Just confirmation that it's getting out of this rut that it's been in, right in this area, of course. So definitely something to watch, though. I know a lot of people in the Discord are talking about it. We built a dedicated channel just for SNDL discussions. And I wish I could do the same thing in Facebook, but that's why Discord is there. So let's see what the SPY is doing as well. Looks like it's at 388.59. Looking pretty strong, though. I'm keeping this midterm channel here, at least the top line, so that we can continue to watch this moving forward. Let me hide that bottom. Well, I'll keep it in there. There's no reason to hide it. Give me a second. Reshape that up. Where's it at? Where's that? Where's that? Dang it! Now I lost it. Larger term. There it is. All right. So I'm gonna keep that in there. I'm gonna get rid of some of this stuff because it doesn't matter anymore. Because we broke these trends. That shorter term trend we broke through. We were watching it in depth to see, when we were gonna break out. And then these trend lines can go. So I clean up as I go to make sure we have some clarity here. Who all do we have in here? If y'all give me a shout out and let me know who's sitting with us, and I know who I'm talking to. Also, if you have any stocks you want to review going into the day with the market showing some strength and to the upside. Of course, the stimulus packages are coming in, so that's going to add to the fire and keep pushing everything higher. A little rhyme for you this morning. But, yeah, I just want to know who's in here with us. And whatever trades you want to look at, that's what we'll look at. We can go down our coffee and stocks list and see how some of those are matching up to our analysis that we've been doing over the past few weeks since we started our coffee and stock session. XELA, which we looked at this morning, sitting at 623. This is a new stock, so I'm not going to pay too much attention to it because it's breaking out. In the midst of that, I don't want to speculate much more than I already have. CAN, we looked at this last week. I think, I want to say O'Shea brought this in, but we bounced through that 25.87, and it doesn't look like it's came back since. Or it's going to, at least, for that matter. Now, buying into it right now, I wouldn't suggest because it's just explosive. Without doing your DD, of course. If you find DD to justify getting into a stock right now, that gives you like a 50-50 chance that you won't hold a bag. But I'm just not jumping into it right now myself because I haven't done any DD on it. All right, got Justin still in here. Another one we were looking at was NLVVF, New Leaf Ventures. It pulled back 38 cents, broke that 42 level that we were hoping to stay above going into the beginning of March, and it looks like it's making its way back up there. So trying to update my watch list as we go through. Okay, cool. So I'll slow down a little bit so we can keep up with what to watch moving forward. This is a penny stock at 42-cent level. We were hoping to find support because it was strong resistance before, but it looks like it's making its way back above it with momentum to stay up. But watch that first before you jump into it. LKCO was added to the list. I think in the past few days we've been watching it bounce off to that 75-cent level back on, looks like yesterday. Yeah, yesterday. And it bounced up this morning pretty heavy. Going into pre-market back above that 107 level. See if we find support here. If it does, it'll bounce up to 136. You're looking at a 20 to 30% swing on the trade. But it looks like it has strong momentum going into the day. I'm not sure if there's any news on it. I'm not going to spend too much time looking for news, but we're just running through our list before market opens. I think that's what we're going to start doing is for the first 30 minutes, we'll kind of review things like the entire market. And then the last 30 minutes, we'll go through our watch list on our coffee and stocks. So for the most part, if you have any stocks you want to add, feel free to do so. Here, Veda. She wants my phone, so let me get her that. But next is I'm not seeing any news. Let me see. I'm looking for news on LKCO is why I paused. So give me a second. Luckin Technology Group. Oh, wrong place. That's why. Not seeing it. Seeks temporary emergency relief over the U.S. trade blacklist. Okay, so they're actually trying to get back on the markets here in the U.S., I guess, or whatever that is. Let me see. I'll look at that on the side. I'm not going to hold you guys up to do it. I'll let you know what I find out. Beta, let go of my mic. Next one to look at is Nxtd. This is a crypto play. No. This is working to bounce back above 211. Would have been nice to catch it on that 113. I'm not saying it's too late to break into this trade. If it goes above this 211 and finds support, then you're trading in a whole new price range, and that's how you got to look at it. So basically going into yep. Let me pop my, guess you guys can look at me for now. It's just me in a little bit. But going into that 211 range, that's the thing about it too, in identifying, you know, whether it's too late or not to get into something. Is that right? You agree? But if it pops above that 211, then you'll be trading between that and the 334. So I'm trying to do the math real quick in my head. That's about 124. So it's almost 50% on the trade, give or take. A little bit short of it, 40 to 50%. GAX was another one we were looking at. It's what I like to call sub penny stocks. It bounced up pretty heavy yesterday. I was actually going to put like $9 on it and just make a point of capturing 100% off this jump to 7 cents. GME currently sitting at 273. Looks like it could be pulling back just a little bit, but I don't like speculating on it. It has a large gap to fill. 256, so about $20 down. But one of our members in our Facebook group chat has this, and he's banking off of it. Glad to see that. I'm just not into it myself. Moving forward, though, SCKT. We started watching this, and it started bouncing. It jumped to like $20 or something. And it has since consolidated. You're buying it now at 50% of that breakout at 930 levels. Let's look at it a little bit closer. Looks like it's let me reset my chart too. There we go. Looks a lot better that way. Watch this hitting $10. If it hits $10, it's going to complete this EMA crossover, and we could bounce again. But definitely a nice company. I've done a little bit of DD, but not enough to give you any information right now. FCell, you guys already know I'm in it. Bounced above that 1549 level. I expect it to stay above that level moving forward, and continue moving higher. You ready to school? All right. I love y'all. See you in a minute. Be careful, babe. I love you. But currently trading 1643, up another 10%, almost 8% to be exact, going into pre-market. Nice. RMO, we all a few of us in here are in it. This 1190 level has been something I've paid attention to. It's the end of our buy zone that I suggested for this stock, and it's currently trading above its EMAs, so I expect it to complete that crossover, break through that 1190, and then our next levels was actually listed as 1917, but that's due to the tremendous pullback that we've seen. Now, to identify some additional levels to pay attention to on the stock is the 1356. I know a lot of people got in below, Veda, let go of my mic. Let go of my mic. She said I got something to say. Here, let's do that. Let's do that. There we go. I got her a little walker now so she can roam on her own a little bit. I don't know if y'all can see her. My mic might be in the way. There you go. And she got her little walker now. But, so RMO, looking at how it reacts to those 1356 levels. Reason I point that out is because you can see that it was support before it broke out to those $40 levels, and has since played as resistance since it broke down and Tesla pulled back on all of the EV plays. With that being said, Tesla is currently sitting at 695. I want to see Tesla above 700. Yeah, I know, dude. She's always trying to get my mic. She loves my microphone for some reason. Hey, ain't that right? Huh. But, 1 second. Yeah. Okay, I'll pull the cameras up so I can watch them. I love you. Been having some weird activity in our neighborhood here lately. But anyways, back to it. Sorry. BLNK, another EV play. You're buying this super cheap. I would love to spend some of my option money on this to capture it to the upside. I wish I would have caught it at the $27 levels. As you can see, it's jumped $6. So what the thing about options is you make much more money the higher volatility a stock has, meaning volatility means the dollar spread that it goes up and down. But definitely still a good play. I'm not mad at it. But I made some money off of BLNK in the beginning. It's currently trading above that 34 EMA, which gives me confidence it's going to continue moving along with the rest of the EVs. So they that's pretty much self-explanatory. Like I said, Tesla's next on the list, of course, and it's currently trying to break that $800 level. $700 level. I wish it was $800. DPW just broke $4. Okay. I think it's on the list. Yeah, it's right there at the bottom, a little bit lower. One thing I do want to point out about SNDL, it's conducting a 4-hour EMA crossover, and if we were to look at it on the 1 hour, it has already completed that. So we might have the momentum swing that we needed. You see it started trying to do that here. You see this EMA crossover? This is why I use it. Is because it attempted to do it before but got rejected. And you'll see this where it turns green, but the 34 to 55 comparison still red, and it'll swing back down. But when you start seeing them both go green, you can expect these to break out. So any of our SNDL holders, get ready to make some funds off of this. And don't be naive and not capture your profits when you can. I know a lot of people are holding this at higher price points and things like that. But ultimately, it needs to break above 155, just to give you some more info on that if you're late to the party. Breaking above 155, and then a buy zone, in my opinion, would be 155 to 171 due to the fact that it's been just being compressed down lower. So that's why my buy zone is higher versus being lower, because that's confirmation it's going to make its move. Once we find support above the 155, I want to reiterate that. NEO, currently at $41, conducting the same type of EMA crossover, but like I said, make sure it confirms the green. We have to make sure it confirms the green where the 35 crosses the 55 EMA, but it's back above that 42, 45 level, looking pretty healthy, just as well as the rest of the EV stocks. Same thing. This is what we're looking for. My scanner actually goes through the system, the entire stock market, whether it's OTC or not. And it looks for these types of setups. So if it comes through my system and it doesn't have this setup, I just move on to the next one, because this is what I'm looking for, these types of setups. But CLNS looks pretty healthy. Needs to get above 201, which it currently is at pre-market. This could jump to 230. That's about 30 cents. So you're looking at about 15-cent swing on it if it were to find resistance there. Not bad. We target 10 to 20% swings on our shorter term swing trades, with about 30 to 40% on our midterm swing trades. Shorter term being, 2 to 3 weeks, about 21 days, 20 to 30 days to extenuate that a little bit more. But our midterms being about 2 to 3 months. Then you have BNGO, which is just balling. I think I'm going to do some calls on BNGO. I should have did them yesterday, but I was so captured by the fact that Tesla was pulling up the way it was that I really just wanted to focus on my EV plays, because I felt like it was going to be a strong move with Tesla being a catalyst for the rest of the EV market. If Tesla could only hit $800 again for me, then that'd be great. And I mean in the next few days. That'd be awesome. But BNGO, I think I'm going to actually look at some potential calls on this going into today. As you can see, we broke back above that 939 level. Another reason I didn't make calls is because I wanted that confirmation that we were going to find the support above it. And then ultimately, this EMA crossover right here is something I'm going to be watching before I confirm that. Of course, I have it set up where I can see all of the time frames in one area now, and see the momentum swings in all of these at one time. So I'll be actively watching this a little bit more. Let me prop that like that. So now I can see all of my momentum going through the different time frames. Actually, this is supposed to be like the 1 and 5 minute section, and this is my 1 hour right here, I believe, 1 hour and 30-minute section. So I'm actually going to maximize that one so I don't mess up my entire trade grid. Anyways, so watching this moving forward, why is it not showing my drawings? That's weird. Super weird. Super weird. Super weirdo. I guess I'm going to have to use the other one so I can bring my drawings back in. I don't understand why it's doing that. Which is fine. I can readjust it later. But anyways, moving forward, BNGO, definitely looking at this. If you haven't already, I'd pay attention to it. Because this was at like 1388 when we first started watching it. I did some review videos on it as soon as I saw that to kind of give some people some resistance levels. Broke above those 388s and hit about $16. It's currently at $9. You're almost getting close to about 80% on the swing if it goes back to those $16 levels. Of course, this had a lot of pressure going into the end of February and the end of beginning of March. So it has a lot of space to the top that it can come back as long as the markets rebound and we see these all-time high levels on the markets again. So if you were to hop into this now, then you could definitely see about 70 to 80% on that swing. But I actually did some more in-depth info, a review on this. I believe I did. I've done so many videos at this point I can't remember off the top of my head. But highly interested in some calls on it. Gonna look into it today. To move forward though, ELYS, I think this was just previously added. Currently trading above the 13 and 34 EMAs, but I want to see it above that 34. And with some confirmation, just to show some resistance levels, is that 723. Support being 450. I expected this to bounce down. This was all the way back at last week that I was looking at this. It would have been great if it bounced down into this buy zone. Of course, it didn't. It bounced off the top of it. That was a level of support that stood in place, and it needed to. Confirmation that it's strong. It's not going to drop out too far if the markets were to pull back. You can expect to have some strength around those levels. Next one we're going to look at is GWACW. I think Shad actually recommended this, and it broke out that day. I believe he got into the trade, or he missed the trade. But it broke above that 225. I don't really like stocks that are kind of new because they don't give me any previous chart history, meaning that I don't let previous price action determine what's going to happen in the future, but I let it define how a stock reacted to certain price points in the past and how they can play a part in the future. I don't necessarily let my entire determination on an entry or exit on something be based off of that, but it allows me to find the confirmations in whether I need to hold or if I need to sell or what to expect on an exit strategy and stuff like that. BGI broke through 366 and has been pretty much taken off. Hit close to about 440 before seeing some rejections. Before I speculate on that anymore, I want to see how it's reacted to those price levels before, and it doesn't look like it's ever traded. Oh, yeah, it has. Okay. The next level would be 515 for it, and I think that goes all the way back here or something like that is how I found it. I don't know why I got this 515. Oh, right here, that level of support. So 515 is where that plays a part. So with perfect example here of what I just said is I don't let historic price action determine my entries or not, but I use them as guidelines where they're currently at. So at this point, if I were to hop into this at that 366 level, once I found confirmation that we were breaking through it and it was running to 515, I would then look for that area to see how it reacted to that price point, or unless it didn't even make it that high, then I would use my EMA crossovers to kind of give me an idea of the shift in momentum. And that's what I use my EMAs for, is shifts in momentum. That's it. And that ultimately, so the whole strategy for me is identify previous levels of resistance that could become support, or vice versa, support that could become resistance, and how it plays a part in the current price action. And then I use my EMAs to see if we have the momentum strength to go in it. The wider my EMAs, the stronger the strength, just to add to that as well. ONTX, let me pull this back a little bit and go on the 4 hour so we can see what our price levels are. Broke below that 108 when the market's pulled back. You could have bought this cheap, about 75 cents or so. Currently back at 114, back above that 108 is what we wanted. But the 114 plays a part too, because that's where it topped out. But this could definitely swing back to 141 with the movement of the markets going back to the upside now. And you're looking at about, doing it in my head, at 27 cents. So that's close to about 25% swing on the trade if you were to hop into this. Something to watch. QS, any stocks that are above like $25, I'm most likely looking at option plays on it. QS, one of those. QS is a semiconductor manufacturer that I'm highly interested in. Oh, you get stuck? You get stucky? Come here. Come back to the game. Say hey, 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 hey. Say hey, 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 hey. By the way, I think the Senate has begun. Yeah, about 13 minutes ago, the Senate started voting. So definitely something to keep on your news ticker and see what they're talking about. Tesla still sitting at 697. What? You want it? You want it? Where you going? Where you going? She said, I'm out of here, Daddy. I don't know if y'all can see her. She said, I'm out of here. Say, hey. 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 What's she doing? What the booger doing? You want something on TV? TV? Yeah. But, Tesla currently is sitting at 700. Just hit 700. Exactly what I wanted. We can expect those EV plays I've been watching, and even more of the EV plays to continue moving higher. So, hold on, Puddin'. Let me put some on TV for you. Yeah? Mama should be home in a second. But, that makes me want to look and see where the rest of the markets are real quick. I'll do it on my other screen so I don't kill our momentum. But QS, I'm looking at QS calls to at least like $70 with the markets pulling back, just to add to that whole thesis. It's a semiconductor. As long as Biden's in the administration, I'm going to be looking at semiconductor plays. We have some on the list now, and I'm sure we're going to go over those here in a second. But I actually created an entire watch list. So what I'm doing is we're focusing on EV plays, crypto plays, and semiconductors. And I'm creating watch lists on them, and then I'm going to create a portfolio build off of them for a longer term hold strategy that I'm going to share with you guys for you to evaluate and determine if they fit your strategy yourself. Let me turn the TV up for the little one just a little bit if y'all don't mind. What's that? Come here. Come here. What's that? What we got? There you go. But looking at some $71 calls on QS, I'll pull up the trade grid real quick and see what they have on the menu for it, and how much we're looking at paying for all these. So $70 April calls would be about 310, which is right about what I have to spend, free cash or free capital, that is. So I wouldn't be mad at doing it, but I could buy some $75 calls, which have a lot more open interest. Open interest in options, meaning more people possess the amount of contracts that are owned or bought by people. It's sitting about 1,200. I like that. Or I can buy $1 calls, $100 call options for $95. But I'm not entirely sure how quick we're going to rebound to $95 on this. So I'm looking more around the $75 at levels. Puddin', what's wrong? Huh? Where you going? Give me 1 second, y'all. Where you going? You want to jump? Instead? You want to jump instead? So back to it. I'm sorry. But definitely looking at those. I would be interested in maybe the May calls too. That'll buy me more time. The theta on these are a little high, about $7, and the ones on April are about $9. So, but I just like QS. I've been watching it for some time. Of course, AMC's on the list. I told you, watch out for that 1108 level when it comes to AMC. And as you can see, it's finding some strong resistance right there. Could reject and pull back. So watch out. You know, if it breaks above that, it might have the momentum to go above it. I'm not saying it's not. So don't quote me on it. I don't like speculating on AMC because I get a lot of flack back from people that own it, and they're wanting this to go to $100 or at least $25. But anyways, that's where AMC is. Looks like it's finding some rejections around that 1108. Looks like it may have popped above it a little bit, but as I said, it has to find support above it, which started forming that in after hours yesterday, but then ultimately broke down and it's now currently below it in pre-market. So watch for those EMAs to cross on the 10-minute. And then FRSX, real quick, just to keep this speeding along. I know people are trying to build watch lists off of this, so I'm not trying to hold you up too long. By the way, we have 14 people in here. That's a new high for our live trading session. So if you can let me know who's in here, if you have any trades you want to look at, feel free to drop them in the chat. We'll look at them. If you have a position in them, feel free to add the price average. Also, if you all would, share this live stream on Facebook, Twitter, wherever you find comfortable, Discord, with other people, so we can have more members come with us. But you know, I like the fact that it's a low count. Real quick, I want to add that is because we can talk a little more on an individual level with each other, and we're not seeing a trade feed that's just zooming. You know, I've seen some of these other live streams, and I'm like, man, I don't know how I would deal with that. All right, Steve, cool. FRX looks like it has some work to do. Before I will say that it'll bounce. Let me see what it looks like on the 1 hour. It might be propping up pretty well. Before I say it's a green light, I want to see literally green EMAs on this. It is trading above it, so I expect it to lead to that moving forward. Moving into today's trading session, and then it'll potentially retest those $9 levels of resistance that I'm looking at right off the top of my head. I have the Fibonacci retracement in there, so I'm going to pull that out and make sure that we have our... We haven't even done a tech analysis on this. So a lot of people have been questioning about how I do my tech analysis and my entries. So I look at the previous levels of resistance where it broke out and peaked out at, right? So that's one level. That's my level of support, right? And once it retested that level, it broke out again and bounced. And then it got stopped out right around this level, around the 1087. Retested it, rejected. Almost lost its momentum, but bounced again, broke up above that level now. Couldn't find the support, and once it didn't, it died. But it found support here, right? And then ultimately, the entire market pulled down on these stocks even more, right? So then it broke that level of support, but the fact that it rejected going any further, it came back above it. Now we're back above that level of support. So hopefully you're starting to understand what I'm looking at. So one would assume... What? One would assume the next level to pay attention to is the 1087, but honestly, it's right here, 905. So I would watch it at the 905. You're looking at $1.80, about $1.87 on the jump, which is well over 20% on the trade. And I'm just doing quick math in my head, but that's my quick analysis. All right, boom. So I have a potential for 20% in a trade. All right, I'm in for that. I'm gonna ride it. And once I see the momentum on the 1 hour with the crossovers take effect, boom, I'm into it. You know, I might pull a little bit out of that 20% that I'm going after, but that's fine. I'm still making more than my 10% minimum swing. And my targets are always 10 to 20% on a 20 to 30 day or a 2 to 3 month hold. So, but what I know now, looking at FRSX, is if we hit that 905 and have the momentum to... Once again, look at these EMAs. I want to point that out. Started gaining momentum and lost it. Rejected at that support level and came down. So now maybe we can have a full EMA crossover, and that'll give it the momentum to go ahead and break above it. So even if I was to wait to get into this about 750, this could run to $9. I'd make about 150 off the trade, right? And then break through that level. Once it breaks through 905, I know we're going back to 1087 to test it. I could let this just run. You see what I'm saying? So that's how I do my tech analysis. Then I solidify actually getting into the trade with the fundamentals. How's the company looking year over year from a longer term perspective, and then how is the performance quarter over quarter? So I wanted to take a second to reiterate how I'm looking at building my key levels, paying attention to, momentum swings within those price ranges, and then ultimately deciding whether or not to enter into it, and then how far to ride it, what to expect on the upside, what are my percent profit margin ranges, if I were to wait a little bit, how much am I chipping away just to lower my risk in order to, still get good gains. But, I want to take a second to share that with you guys. Good morning, Pascal. How you doing? Glad to have you here. I see Reg is still here with us. Steven's still here. Antoine, Justin's still here, I believe. Both of the Justins. But good morning. Wondering about SPCE and GMA. We talked about GMIA over the past coffee and stock sessions. Also trying to find a sweet spot to buy a little bit of Novavax. I did a review over Novavax over the past few days. And I made like 900 to 1,000 in one day off of SPCE calls. But it broke this long-term trend. I'm going to pull this out and this out. And you see this downtrend that it's been in due to the entire market pulling back. Still trading in that level. So watch out for it moving forward. And that would look something like this. So if we break this trend right here, we're moving higher. So one thing that stands out to me just on quick technical analysis is the 3379. If this bounces above it, I'm going to set an alert for it myself. If it bounces above it, I'd definitely be happy about some option calls. So I'm going to put in HPCE option calls for probably $41 or 41 to 40 to $45 price ranges. And if it's too expensive, then alt $50 to $55 to buy them a little bit cheaper and let them run. But it has a lot to recapture. Shorter term time frame within this trend line that it's currently in is something like this. So it might bounce up just a little bit, but then ultimately fall again. And something that stands out to me again, where's my clone tool? Yep, 7 minutes and counting. I'm still here. I'll be back. Had to get my crew started. Cool. Glad you're still here, Jeff. But pay attention to this right here. It's in a crossroads is what I call it. So if it breaks this long-term trend, we might find some resistance at that point. It might bounce down a little bit and then bounce up. That makes sense? But then I would look at doing some maybe April calls to probably about the $45 level. So I just defined my option call right there that I'm looking for, just based off of its current trend, and then how it's moving in that trend, the momentum that it's looking at finding. I can confirm my momentum by looking at the 1 hour. We're seeing some EMA crossovers. I need the green lights on both before I feel comfortable with the trade. Of course, I think hitting that 33.79 level, previous level of resistance, and breaking through it will confirm that EMA crossover. So we're moving. Boom. Then I just hold this into, maybe April 1st or something like that if the theta's not too strong on it. Next one. Did I completely? Oh, yeah. So DPW sitting above $4. Oh, wait, you had some more you wanted to look at. I'm sorry. And then somebody else, J-Dub, wanted to look at another one too. So we'll take some time to do that. We have about 4 minutes before market opens. JMIA. We defined this when this was first brought up in our coffee and stocks. We defined this buy zone. And as you can see, this is why I do it the way I do it. It's because that level of support kicked in. And if you were following this, you would have been able to buy this at $33. You would have been up $10 a share already. Or you could have bought options right here. You would have been up $10 within a matter of days. It's what, 5 days spread? And 2 of those days being the weekend. So definitely in a strong buy zone in my opinion, longer term. But ultimately you want to see how it reacts. If you buy into it right now, see how it reacts to that 49.53, because it could trade sideways in the channel moving forward. And then that's on an equity stake. If you were to follow this, looking at an option play, it's midway in the channel. I would wait to see how it reacts to these levels first, and if it gets rejected, then I would do some puts. I would catch some gains on the bottom, and then once it hits the bottom support level, sell my puts, and then buy equity shares in it, and then do call options with the same amount of money that I put in on my puts. So now I have free money to put into the equity share, and then I have the same amount of money to put in my options. And so I just triple traded this one stock, just because I was able to identify a channel that it's trading in. I hope that makes sense. And then, but you know, watch the 49.53. If it rejects off that, how I would play it, of course, this is how I would play it, is buy a put option back to $33, let it ride that channel down, and then once it hit $33, use my profits to buy my equity stake, and then do call options to $49 on the reversal. Boom. And then what you can do is it's just pegging in my head. You're making money off the equity shares moving up, and you're also making money off that call option, which you could take those profits, and once it goes above 49.53, you can buy into it again once it confirms support, if it does. Or you can keep playing that cycle throughout the whole swing. And the fact that it has a $10 spread, that's good volatility. But back to the other stocks that you guys are talking about, QRTEA. See where we're at. I haven't done any analysis on it. I haven't even ever looked at the stock before, but we will look at it. All right, so JDub, once again, quick start. Boom. Right there, 1169. Broke down below it, gapped right up, and found support above it. It looks like it's finding strong resistance right here at the 1354 levels. Definitely something to pay attention to. This is our green is our support, and orange is our midterm resistance that we want to pay attention to, and I typically have a red line for long-term resistance. So but conducting a 4-hour EMA crossover, I'm sure it's showing the same signals on the 1 hour, but this is a great example of what I'm talking about. You need green lights on both, like full spreads on both of these EMAs, because as you can see, as soon as it started to conduct that EMA crossover, it started seeing some pullback. So I'd watch this to probably drop around the 1250 off that top 12 EMA, 13 EMA, and let it bounce from there. We got 1 minute. Tesla is currently at 701. Bitcoin's at 55. And we're open. 389.74 on the SPY. NQ is at 12.957. So we're looking pretty strong. I'm about to see what my option plays are looking like for the day. And those are sitting, I'm up another $80 this morning. So I just cleared $1,300 on my $100 small account challenge. I'm up 12x, 12.5x actually. But like I said, I'm going to be watching Tesla all day. Make sure I don't get bit in the butt with it pulling back, because the 1 hour is looking a little bit weak on it. So I was a little concerned holding these going into today. But looking pretty good. My NKLA calls are up 34% now. My FCEL calls are up 50%. And my Romeo calls are up 38%. So I'm pretty happy with that. I can't complain. I'm already $40 short of my daily minimum for me to sit here and talk to you guys all day and still pay my bills. So, you know, I could make some more option calls going in today, like that QS call I was looking at. Let's see. It actually popped a little bit, pulled back. Tesla still sitting above 700. It's what we want. Bitcoin at 56,000. And the SPY, let me see how it's reacting, because it's actually hit these levels before. I want to see if it gets rejected, and I also need to track our market and where we're at this morning. Market open. So I'm gonna see if the SPY is gonna break. I'm gonna share this with you guys. The SPY is gonna break above this 38 or 389 level right here. If it does, I might do some calls on it. Now I'm up $180. FCEL just jumped. I could close these out and call it a day. Let's look at FSL and see what it's doing. See that SPY rejection at that 389 level? That's concerning. FSL up $17. Winning. As I always say, winning. I just cleared 1438 on the account, up 13.5x basically. And climbing, about to climb 15x now. So I'm gonna pull back out my chart so I can see all momentum moves on these, kind of find my exits, where I'm satisfied. Of course, with FSL, we're working on a EMA crossover on the 4 hour. This actually should have been the 1 hour, and this should be the 4 hour over here. So I'm gonna pop these open just a little bit because they're my longer time frames. For now, I don't really necessarily need to see anything else on it. Maximize pan. But this is why I use these EMAs the way I do. I'm up $232 today. I'm about to clear. Looks like we might see some slight pullback. I might get out of these. I don't know. I don't want to get ahead of myself. What's the SPY doing? We haven't crossed that level we need to. We got rejected right above the 389.90. Tesla's up to 716, so I'm going to hold my EV calls actually. Romeo call up $50. Nikolai call up $50. So for the most part, green, 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 green. Yes, Lord. I see a lot of people jumped off. I don't know who else is still here. Dorito Dorm, what's up, man? How you doing? Glad to have you here. SPY right at that 389.90 level. If we see some rejections, I'm gonna do some puts, and I might close out the rest of my accounts. Up 230, 223 for the day, looking good. Let's see. Rejection strong though at that 389 level, man. It's concerning. I have it on the side here. I don't even need to look at it over here. So I'm gonna watch some of my other plays and just see how they're reacting. Tesla pulled back from his 716 levels, currently at 710. Seeing some momentum spring on the 5 minutes. That's good. 1 hour, 4 hour. That's the 4 hour there. What's this? The 1 hour. Yeah. Okay. So I was worried about Tesla pulling back on us a little bit. I want to see Tesla above 767 today, and I'll be a happy man. I'll be a very happy man. Currently up 223. My birthday numbers. Yes, sir. QS trading higher after initiated coverage on the stock was outperformed. Go back to our current plays. See what the SPY's doing, man. Need you above 380. All right, man. I'm starting to see some momentum swings I'm not liking. Let's look over here. I think we have the momentum to break through that 389.90 today. I mean, it really needs to do it, if you ask me. But if it can't do that, then we're going to have some issues. Me and the SPY personally. $389.90. Actually, it's like $389.81. Honestly, up $206 for the day. Let's see what our spread is now. If the market's open, Tesla's pulling back a little bit at 706. If it breaks 700, I'm getting out of these trades. Just letting you know. Lock in my profits. I'm not greedy. As long as I hit my daily minimum, I'm good. But right now my delta is sitting at 218 with my theta sitting at $7.89. So short loss there. I really want to see what's going to happen with the SPY. It looks like it's pulling back on the 5 minute. Let me see what the but it looks like a potential bounce on the 1 hour. What's the 30 minute saying? Yeah, the SPY's about to bounce a little bit. So I think I'm going to do some calls on the SPY. What's my 1 hour look like? That's 4 hour. Let me see the 1 hour real quick. Yeah, I really want to see it above that 389.90 though, before I feel comfortable. Next stop for it though, I don't know if it's gonna do it. I could do some like short swing option puts on it. Catch that retracement back to the 386, but not a lot of volatility in it. Same stocks that were on my scanner are on my scanner now. There we go. Breaking. Up $191 today. Overall, $382 on the trades that I currently have. Looking over some SPY calls right now to the side here. So I'm still here with you guys. Man, I got to figure out these options. I'll admit it. I got scared last week and sold off my EV stocks. Kicking myself now. BGGR just became pink current. Man, those rejections on the SPY, man. It will not get above that 389.90. What's going on? Let's get up. Come on, man. Get to work. Let's get to work. Reset my charts over here. I have the SPY over here, and I'm watching Tesla up top. Tesla just broke 700. So I'm currently up today $175 with Tesla breaking 700. Looking at some, I was afraid of this. I said something about it earlier about, you know, Tesla potentially losing steam on the 1 hour. It's back at $6.99 though, so I'm not gonna freak out too soon. You know, I'm gonna be a little patient. Let's see what our best stocks in our coffee and stocks list is right now. EXLA is still up. FCell jumping 12% again today. As you all know, I'm up 182 right now myself. GME's at 280. I know Jonathan in our group's looking for 300 or so on that. LKCO up 10%. BLNK, it's up 10%. TLRY is up 7%. For you wheat stockies out there. DPW looks like it broke back down below $4. AMC finally is above 1108. Needs to stay above that before I find any confirmation that it'll continue moving higher. Tesla is breaking down right now, so I think I'm going to go ahead and capture my gains out of these trades and just call it a day. For a quick $400 win, 368 to be exact, but let me look at those trades just to make sure, confirm that we're seeing the same trends. Yeah. Should I get out? Should I stay or should I go? I'm gonna wait. If it breaks $17, I'm getting out of FCell. Broke 17. Watch, I'm gonna sell these options and kick myself in the face for doing it. I mean, I'm up for $350. I'm not mad, but I wasn't expecting on holding these overnight anyways. I mean, I'm up 84% on my option calls for FCell. Tesla looks like it's rebounding a little bit. SPY still trying to test that 389.90. Having some issues there. Potential momentum loss if it keeps doing this. Either that or compression is what's going to happen. Let's see. See what we're looking at on the momentum. Yeah, the SPY's about to drop out. I'm gonna go ahead and close out what I have. I'm up 150 for the day. I'm not gonna complain about that. And I'm gonna do some put options on the SPY, man, if it doesn't break above these levels. I'm gonna hold my Romeo calls too, by the way. Even though I'm selling FCell and NKLA, I'm gonna hold on to my Romeo calls just so you guys know. I might buy more if it pulls back any. I didn't like Nikolai after seeing it perform yesterday against the rest of the markets, so I was more reluctant to get out of it. But I just locked in my profits, man, for the day. So pretty happy with it. Made 131 off of FCell. Actually lost $2 in selling my Nikolai calls. Apparently, it had zeroed out. But I'm seeing momentum loss in Tesla ultimately is why I did that. People don't understand what I'm doing. I'm seeing momentum loss in Tesla, which is going to weigh back down on the EV space. So something to keep in mind. Things like, well, hold on. I say that. I mean, that's what I'm seeing. I'm seeing a lot of selling volume come in on Tesla. I'm pretty confident on that statement. So 10 to 30 minute there. And then my 1 hour's here. So I'm not telling everybody else to get out. I'm just saying I got out of it. You know? Because as soon as I get out of it, Tesla pops back up above $7, and I'm pretty sure FCell did too. Yeah. So, whatever. Anyways, I have $1,140 to play with, and we won't. It looks like we won't know about the house until about 8 o'clock. So, or not 8 o'clock. Start at 8, about 10 or 11 o'clock. Because they have about 2 hours of debates, and then the final vote. So, if they have no debate though, then you know, be good to go. BNGO was something I was looking at doing some option calls on. Let me see how it's reacting. It broke down a little bit, which is fine with me for the simple fact that I can hop in on some cheaper calls on it. I feel like this is going back to 13. Looking at some April calls, watching the SPY just broke above 389.90. Now, I'm going to try to set this up where we can watch this simultaneously together, and how I'm going to play this, because a lot of people have been interested in our option calls and stuff. So I'm going to show you how I'm going to run it. Just clearing $1,400, a dollar less. If anybody wants to give me 32 cents so I can be at $1,400, that'll be nice. Just messing. But what I'm looking at is this right here. I'm going to kill this right here for now. Our watch list, that is. I hope I was able to run through most of these so that you guys could get your watch list together for the day. Some PLTR calls wouldn't be a bad idea either, by the way. But go to the SPY. This is what I'm looking at. We're at 390.11 right now. Okay. I'm seeing a momentum swing on the 1 minute, but momentum loss on the 5. Ultimately, from this this MACD, looks like we're seeing some momentum on, what is this time frame? The 1 hour. So this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna put the 1 hour over here actually, and the 30. Oh, okay. I already have it set up. I'm gonna let this thing top out, and then I'm probably gonna do some put options on it. What are my Romeo calls doing? Must be winning on them. Yeah. Man, now I'm kicking myself in the butt for selling those FCell calls. But like I said, I'm looking at potential signs of pullback on Tesla. I guess we could look at the NQ and see what it's doing. Just, tech stocks all together. At the same time, like, I'm not mad that I sold it. I'm not going to kick myself in the butt that much because I'm winning. Ultimately, let's see where the markets are going before I make that statement. All right, we're up 5. So I expect the markets to continue pushing forward. Although U.S. equities is flat right now since 8:30, pretty much. Or no, I had to refresh. Sorry. Still up 5. VIX is coming down. Tesla's going up. Back up above 700, but it needs to stay above 700. I'm just not comfortable with it. 390.26. This is what I need to do. I need to actually view it in a bigger time frame, because looking at these small ones are just killing me. Up 150 for today, up above my minimum. I'm not complaining at all. this allows me to be here with you guys. So back to my point about what I'm looking at with the SPY. So we had some USA CPI, Consumer Price Index numbers come in. They were flat. They hit estimates, basically. Exactly on point, except for core CPI, which was month over month. And I believe this is price increases, so watch out for that. Except for the core CPI, month over month was up, but year over year was down. I also want to see where the 10-year is too. Yeah, Tesla breaking down below 700 again. 10-year did pull back, and it's showing signs of pulling down, so the markets could push up because of that. So definitely something to watch. But ultimately, I'm looking at potential SPY puts right now above 390. And reason being is the next level it needs to get above is 390.72. Now, I'm highly under the assumption that a lot of the stimulus package is already priced into the market, right? Thank you. I think I just made it myself. I'm actually up $9, but that 32 cents would make me up $10 above 1400. So I'll take it, Mike. Mike, I found out Mike's been here with us this whole time and just been sitting in the background not saying nothing. He doesn't want to talk to us or anything, apparently.
What? You getting tired of jumping?
Alright, so SPY sitting at 390.22. Showing some slight momentum on the 1 hour. But that could be a fake out. Like, you see this one right here? It could definitely fake out and fall down. So, and it's oversold. So, it's more likely that it'll come down than continue going up. Of course, we know that all-time highs are around 395. A lot of people think it's going to 400. It's just not going to immediately bounce to those levels. So, it could potentially come back to like the 384 levels or something like that, you know? At the same time, I do need to be looking at other opportunities. Tesla currently sitting at 702. What if I did some Tesla puts today? And it's a long shot. So I don't know how much I feel comfortable about that. What did that? Yeah. Can I get my hair back? But so right now, I'm trying to think of where I'm at and where I'm going. Here you go. 702.99. All right, so I'm getting ready to place some SPY puts on this 390 level here. Reason being is because it's played resistance. It was previously support. It gapped down below it, precisely almost right below it, and then retapped it again on that last breakout. What's that? You don't want it? You want not? In that thesis, I'm looking at either 7-day calls or puts or 14. Which it really doesn't matter because I'm expecting to be in and out. 14, it allows you to have a longer theta or a lower theta, so you don't lose money per day, but I'm not expecting to hold these day by day. I never do like same day options either, by the way. But it looks like I can make... Honestly, I have the liquidity to buy in near the money right now. But of course, I'm going to confirm that's what it's going to do before I do it. Ain't that right? Ain't that right? Ain't that right? Let's see what it does for a second. I'll be right back. Let me get her situation.
Yeah. We got the toys, Daddy. There we go. Yeah. Yeah. Got your little teddy bear?
All right, guys. I'm back. $0.02 per share. Breaking news. Okay. Let's look at it. Coin Citadel. Tesla broke back above 700. That means all those options I bought are pretty much gonna be higher. Yeah, I missed out on like another $67 on my F sale. I missed out on another $32. So that would have been another $100. I'm still up with Romeo though. I'm gonna be up with Romeo. I'm up $100 on it overall since I opened the trade. Up about 60%. CCTL, huh? Let's analyze. 2.5. I really don't do these like mini pennies is what I call them. Honestly, I'm not saying there's nothing wrong with it. Look at cheapest Bitcoin mining company in the world. The question is, with it being the cheapest, is there a reason it's the cheapest? That's my next question. CCTL. They have no fundamental information for me to look at. I don't ever like that. Something I want to look at though is Flex. Seeing some liquidity moves there. No, I didn't have enough for me to. I mean, you could jump in here and get it like 10-15% off of it, but back to my SPY situation. So it just ran up for some reason. And how I'm gonna play the SPY. Now, typically what you see with the SPY is when it hits all-time highs, it'll trend down a little bit, but the next day it's almost like virtually a gap down. It broke above those 389.90 levels, showing strong momentum to the upside. Currently oversold, VWAMP's oversold status, and that's why I'm looking at potential puts on it, because it's in the condition that it is in. I think that the ultimately, I think that the oh no, I was waiting for 390.72 now. But ultimately, I think as that what I'm trying to say is the stimulus package may already be priced into the markets, and that's something to pay attention to. Next level of resistance that is even more key to me is 392, which is where I might buy my calls. If we get up that far today, I'm definitely doing it, because it's a hell of a jump in one day. Tesla up. Tesla's finding some resistance itself around what is that? Let me see. Let me look at it. Level to pay attention to on Tesla, 722.32. With our previous performance, though, I might have the ability to go ahead and actually afford a Tesla put. Oh, funny. But ultimately, finding more resistance even lower than that seems to be right around here. I keep seeing rejections at these levels, and I'll show you what I'm talking about. If we look at a lower time frame right here, see how it keeps tapping that 710? I mean, it has momentum strength to the upside, but it's already done its double dip RSI bounce. This could retrace, and that's ultimately, you know, I may have missed out on a few more bucks on my my options, but it's only like $80 more that I would have got, if that, because yeah, Nikolai is only up $22 from where I sold it on my option contract. FCell is really where my winner would have been. It's up about $47, so not much. But it keeps getting these rejections at the 710. I wonder how much that's going to play a part in here. And it looks like my time frames are off up here. Yeah, this should be 10 minute. This is the 1 minute. Currently looking at it on the 5. This should be... Oh, no. I did not mean to do that. Can I bring that back? Nope. No. That sucks. I'm going to refresh it. Up 174 for the day. Not mad. Been up green for the past, I don't even know how long. Even in the market pullback, happy to see that. Seeing some resistance from that 710 on Tesla. Watch out for that going into your EV plays today. This could be what you call a fake out. And what I'm talking about is this right here on Tesla specifically. Where was it? What was I looking at? Was it the 4 hour on Tesla? That EMA right there could tap that and we reject. And the fact that it's oversold or headed to our oversold status on the 4 hour is concern. Already tapping over, I said oversold status, overbought status. Let me correct myself. Now, check this out. Even if this is a new scenario that I want to pay attention to. RMO, perfect example right now. I'm up $111 on it, right? It's currently trading at, where's the price? $11.95. Tesla pulls back and we go back down to these 575, 600 levels, at least 707 or even 650. That'll pull RMO down to $11. It's currently trading at $12 right now, but anyways, that could pull it down. I'm just telling you a scenario right here. I'm not saying that's going to happen. I've made $111 off of this option call. When it comes back, I now can own 10 free shares of Romeo that I can let sit forever. Ride the waves. So if I'm ultimately thinking that Tesla's going to pull back like it's looking like, then I'm expecting that to happen. I could potentially do some put options on Romeo to the downside and capture some gains on the way down. And then make those profits in reverse. So I bought this about $9.47 when I first got into it. Or $9.50 or $9.60 or something like that. It may have been $10. I'm not sure. Anyways, $2 jump, I can make another $100 on the way down on a put option. And then I can buy up to 20 shares for free and let them sit. And then buy options on it again on the way up. And then capture more profits while my equity share that I hold on it continues gaining the profits that I expect. But ultimately, I'm gathering free shares of these stocks that I'm going after. So like I could go put in, I think I'm up $300 on those FCell calls. I can go buy $300 worth of FCell stock now, and it's free. So that's my goal with options. I'm not using it to get rich fast, but I mean, it works. As you can see, I'm up 14.3x or 13.3x right now on my $100 that I started a week ago. So seeing some rejections on the SPY though. I want to see where NQ is because I was looking at some potential QQQ shorts. It bounced pretty heavy, but it's hitting that longer term trend, it looks like, and could potentially bounce off of it. We want to see it bounce above it, and then we'll see the tech sector pull up. Another thing to keep in mind is the 10-year and watching what it's doing as well. Like I said, we need to pay attention to that if we're going to be aware of everything. just watching the SPY over here on my other screen. I have the SPY over here, Tesla up there, and now I'm gonna have NQQ and the 10-year Treasury yield. I did realize that the more trading view charts that you have open, this thing starts to weigh down on the processor quick. What was it? There it is. Sitting at 140, 154, basically where we started the week, ended last week rather. So NQ is actually still fighting to get out of its longer term trend. It looks like it's trying to break above it. But as we saw with the SPY over the past few weeks, this could actually reverse and reject at these levels. And so what I'm going through is looking at my momentum indicators and basically getting some calculations on what to expect. So the fact that it's been on a 2-hour run for the most part and has double tapped that RSI level at the top, this could potentially pull back, and then I could do some QQQ. That's the ETF I'm going to go after for the NASDAQ. And trade this to the low end as well as the SPY. If the SPY continues to have issues, it's only trading at 390.38. I do want to look at my overall score again and see where we're at. Looks like we're still at a 5 on the scorecard. One thing that I'd like to point out, though, is that we're actually down from yesterday's peaks, although we are picking up. VIX is down 6%. I could honestly not trade today if I wanted to. I could let my Romeo calls continue to run, you know. I don't have to trade because I'm already over my minimum. So me trading today would put at risk going below my minimum if I take any losses. But I'm still going to be scouring for some opportunities. This ultimately is what I'm watching on the QQQ, is how it bounces off of this top level right here. And how we react. If it bounces off of it, I'm looking at some 296 calls. Or put options, excuse me. And then we got the SPY right over here too that we're watching. It's having some rejections. I think that I said that the... What? Put in? Trying to get out of here. Oh, do we have your iPhone? Oh, no, it's over here. I also wanted to ask you guys too. Did you know that Apple now makes baby iPhones? So my baby has an iPhone now. They retail for $10. Yeah. Apple actually had some issues. They're losing sales in their iPhone 12. Or they're pulling back production on it or something like that. I saw in the news this morning. As we continue to watch, ultimately seeing how the SPY reacts to 391, if we're going to see some rejection there. QQQ, I'm watching it too. Just potentially short it. This is all short-term shorts, though. I'm not short the market long-term. Please keep that in mind moving forward. Up $40 on FSL. Got out for the moment and looking elsewhere. Just glad to secure some profits on my baby account. Man, I took $100 and I'm now up at Game Changer. Yes, but I'm up $1,300, man. These options can be a beast. It looks like Tesla's having issues staying above 700, like I thought. I honestly could do shorts across the board and feel comfortable about it. Basically a short on Tesla, short on the SPY, short on QQQ. I'm starting to build that confidence just watching these over and over and over get rejected, basically. What that? That my phone? Say that my phone, daddy. Give me my phone, daddy. Did you see RMO has warrants? I did not see that. What is that? RMOW? Girl, where you going? Where you going? Where you going? I see him. Right there. A dollar? Them things a dollar? Give me a reason to go buy 1,300 of them right now. I already got the DD behind the company. Give me a reason to buy 1,300 of them. I'll go do it. Tesla at 701. SPY at, yeah, I found it. SPY at 390.57 right now. Of course, you may see a delay in these reports, so it may be off from what you're seeing and what I'm stating. US 10-year just broke below 154, just bounced right back above it. I'm going to see how the day plays out, probably till about 10 o'clock. Honestly, I need to educate myself on how warrants work a little bit more. So if you want to do a quick descript on it in the chat so everybody can learn at the same time. I'm not going to say I know everything. And I definitely have not paid attention to how warrants work as much as I would like to. Of course, I can pull it up over here. It's no big issue if you don't feel like doing it. Because my understanding with warrants is that it was basically employee stocks that were dished out or something like that. Like I said, I'm not going to act like I'm some genius on warrants. How do warrants work in stocks? Are we getting sleepy? Are we getting sleepy? A call warrant gives the owner the right to buy the stock for the strike price, when a sell warrant gives the holder of the contract the right to sell the price. After the expiration date, the warrant has expired. The holder can no longer use it. I think somebody's getting sleepy over here. I see you nodding off. Huh? You getting sleepy? Tesla under 700. SPY under 390. Can I get my hair back? I really want to know how warrants work. Now, you got me highly interested because I could buy a bunch of these right now. Can I get my hair back though? You can buy these for $1. Where's the expiration date? So is that February 21st, 2026 is when these expire? Is that what I'm reading right? Right here at this description? I don't know if you guys can see that. Is that February 21st, 2026 is when they expire? I'm looking it up. Yeah, you sleepy? Somebody sleepy. Somebody sleepy. Hey, baby. Hey, give me just a second. I'm gonna be right back. Right back. We'll come back to that at the same time. But I'm just gonna step away for just a second. Go freshen up. The warrants can also be called at any time, all the way to 5 years. I made 11K on it. Word, bro. I need to catch you on Discord on something. So you can let me know how this works. Yeah, I'm gonna have to see how they correlate. As you can see, we're seeing some rejections on the SPY. It's having issues. This is why I was looking at doing potential puts on it. I want to look at the QQQ as well. Oh, no, that's not what I meant to do. So what I'll have is QQQ right here. And I'll leave that up. No, I didn't mean to pin that. If the stock goes up in value, the warrants will follow. Need to look for a good entry and buy them now. Buy them up. Not all brokers will sell them. It looks like TDA sells them. Yes, they do. And that's why I'm interested in getting them. Let me see. What was I doing? What was I doing? No, I want to duplicate this. Ten-year picking up a little bit, so watch out for that. This could weigh down on the markets. Tesla there. All right, so it looks like I might be going ahead and capturing my gains off of Romeo for now. And then looking at shorting the rest of it. That being the SPY. Tesla, I might short Tesla a little bit. I don't know about Tesla. Tesla's a giant. I don't like shorting. But when I see signs of pullbacks, then that's what I expect. QQQ is what I'm focused on. SPY and QQQ for the day. I'm up $197 for the day already. We haven't even gotten until 45 minutes in the market open. But as you can see, the QQQ is pulling back a little bit. Let me maximize this screen because apparently it didn't save my chart analysis for it. But what makes me want to short this is the fact that it tapped out right here and it's tapping out there as well. Losing momentum on 1 hour. We're starting to see an EMA crossover, but it could play out just like this one. So that's what I'm looking for ultimately. Going on the 4 hour, pull in just my indicators, or pull out my indicators real quick. Do some quick analysis on it. Boom and boom is my trend line. Clone that, and I'll find my channel that we're in, like so. Somewhere around those numbers. Even if I were to be a little more gracious right there. So let me see what the trading log's telling me. Still at a 5 on it. I will clock this again at 9:30. But the VIX is picking up now. That's what I'm looking at. Still down 5% for the day, so it could swing to the upside. Definitely something I'm going to watch. Looks like I might be buying some SPY calls or puts at let me look at DPW for you. I'm not going to rush into buying my calls though. Would I buy DPW right now? Swinging on the 1 or the 5 and the 10 minute. Expecting this to pop back up a little bit. Kill this right quick. Let me make sure. Give me a second. Let me shut some of this down so I can. As you can see, I have a lot running on here. But DPW, I mean, as long as Bitcoin's going up, you can expect it to. Right now, what I'm waiting for is the SPY to confirm that it's going to drop out and that we're not just doing a swing here. As you can see, it bounced right off of that top EMA, which is why I use them, or not right off the top of it, but close to it. It is finding support above the 387 though, so that is the concern. Thinking of selling SNDL and buying DPW. What's SNDL doing? I haven't really watched it. Yeah, I mean, it found support above that 136 though, man. So that's what I was saying. We need to stay above 136, but it needs to keep its momentum above it in order to do that. It's showing a strong swing on the 1 hour. Last I looked, depending upon how it opened up in the market is the question. So this is what I'm looking at right now, just because of what I'm seeing in the markets, is buying a put option on the SPY right around these 390 levels. If it pops up, I expect it to break below 400. QQQ. Yeah, earnings report. You know, it'll probably prop up to go there, but then pull back. We have some monthly calls on it, 9 days away, which I could get in the money right around $600. Man, that's expensive. Whew. I don't know about that. I really don't. That's expensive. Let me lower this a little bit. That way we can kind of see some more. And the thing about it is, to pay that much to only make $50, ugh, I'd rather just stick to my SPY calls. I think that's why I did it originally. Of course, it's the Nasdaq, so these 391 calls are pulling back as it tops 390 now. But going back to look at the chart, see what's going on with it. I mean, SNDL is looking pretty good. Maybe you can capture it at a little bit higher level. You want it to go back up to 150, but it looks like it's topping out at 144. So definitely something to pay attention to. SPY. Let me look at the SPY. Looks like I might be pulling out of those Romeos, because Tesla is down to 694 now. And man, let's look at the Tesla puts. If I were to buy it real quick, just to give you a look at that, man. 7 days away, it cost me $3,000 to buy one of these puts, man. That's nuts. Nuts. I'm not paying that much for anything. Not one thing. At least. I mean, but look at some of the returns you get off of these. It's nuts, man. Like, I could probably... I don't even know, like... With Tesla, I would do, like, some... definitely intraday type options, and that's even riskier, so I'm not comfortable with doing something like that. But even then, like, it's like retarded numbers. I would probably go with like $600 calls on this, but I'd only make like $8 per $90 that it falls. But if you do the math in that real quick, 8 times 90 is what? $720 that you can make if this went back to $600. I'm not saying it's going to do that intraday though. So, and the theta on it is $1.61. So you lose 50% of it in one day. So, not looking at doing any Tesla calls until I'm a bigger boy in the world. Still up 14x, about 1442 overall. Up $182 for the day. Like I said, I don't even have to trade for the rest of the day. I could just sit here. SPY is showing momentum loss, as you can see. So it looks like I might be doing some SPY calls, puts, and I might be buying the 390s as it has issues staying above that. So looking at these 450s for that. Waiting for it to come down just a little bit. I wanted to bounce up a little bit more, but it doesn't look like it's going to. I'm going to go ahead and hop in. Now, what I'm looking at is what's going on with the VIX. Just bought my SPY puts for $4.43 and down $2. No, up $1 already. I might consider QQQ because it looks like it's rounding off too. But those are just very expensive. I might do out of the money calls on it, just to basically anything under $300 is what I'm looking at. But even in that being said, well, this is April, of course, so I'm only doing... When did I do my SPY calls? I did them 7 days out. So looking at this, might be cheaper right here. Anything below 300 If I were to look at 300, I'm looking at 422 on it on 16 days out, and then on 9 days out, same strike price of 300. So that's what I'm trying to do is compare 258. So 258, I make $23. Let's do this. $14. Maybe that'll. Nah, it doesn't do it. Ugh. Anyways. Of course, the SPY would start rounding off on me. You have Tesla puts? How much did you pay for them? Looks like I'm getting out of Romeo to go ahead and capture my gains on it. I'm happy with them. Up 65% on the calls overall. Tesla's pulling back, broke below 6,890 just recently, so I'm gonna go ahead and hop out of it. I wish I would have sold out on them a little bit earlier. I'm not mad. That gives me about $992 to play with, so I'm not gonna go all in on anything today. With that, I'm gonna secure cash, but just do some shorter term put options on some of these things that I see pulling back, specifically the QQQ and the SPY. QQQ, I'm looking at around the $300 price range for it to bounce back. So this is 9 days out. I think I'm gonna go ahead and initialize that trade as long as it's confirming that move to the downside. So let me add in my indicators again. So I can see what I'm seeing on momentum loss. So we're seeing some momentum loss right here. We're seeing some top out right here. And this is on the NASDAQ, by the way. This is on the 1 hour that I'm paying attention to, but 5 minutes showing loss here. So, what's that? Holy crap. All right, so. Yeah. So just bought my QQQ calls, bought my puts, QQQ puts, QQQ SPY puts. Jesus, QQQ puts, SPY puts. Okay, if I can get that correct for any matter. And you know what? Where are we at with QQQ? Let's look. What I'm gonna do is, I'm gonna go ahead and buy these 313s, man. I'm gonna make $50 on the way down. Wish me luck. My wife bought them back when Tesla was at $800. Strike was $500. Since the spread was so huge, it was cheap. We always believed Tesla was overpriced. Sundial grows. If you notice, all pot stocks are running about the same. Mexico is legalizing through the Senate today. SNDL moved up their quarterly call. Very good news coming. Gotcha. So, I just made a jump that I've never done. And I bought 313 puts on QQQ. And I bought 300 put options on QQQ. And SPY puts. So I'll be watching that for the rest of the day. Wish me luck. But I'm pretty confident with it, honestly. The fact that we had some you see this 34 EMA right here? I'll kind of pick this up so we can see it. There's something that stood out to me. It's having issues staying above that 34 EMA. If I see some reversal, I'll hop out of this. But still up $171 for the day, even with it pulling back a little bit on my QQQ puts. Trying to bounce back above 212 or 213 a little bit. But that's what I'm trading. The SPY is currently breaking $389, below that. And showing some pullback on the 1 hour as well. So, already up to $200 on those. Tesla ultimately pulling back, so watch the EV markets. If you're in the EV plays, be careful. FYI. Move those to the close so I can get them out of my way. Now, I'm gonna ride the markets down is my goal. I think that I know a lot of people are gonna be like, why are you doing this on the day that they're talking about, uh, you know, doing stimulus and stuff? Because I think it's already priced into the markets. And another thing that's catching my attention is the fact that we're kind of seeing the 10-year Treasury yield. It was picking up. It is losing steam, so we might weigh down. I'm already up $59, up $73. I just cleared $1,500. So, call me crazy, but it's working. I'm not sure who's still here with us. If you'll let us know, please. We'll always like to keep up. Right now I'm watching QQQ die out, about to break 312. SPY just broke 388. Found that resistance I was looking for at the 390s. I bought it right around this time where it was getting ready to break those support levels, or it had already broke those support levels. Let me confirm my time, 9:23. So I bought it right after it broke it, apparently. And once it broke that, I'm gonna let it ride down. That's what I'm gonna do. If you look down here on these, you can see the momentum loss occurring. What I can do, Tesla at 680. I'm gonna duplicate this and we can see our bigger charts. That way I don't have to mess with my other ones. Currently up $87 on it. So what's about to happen is I woke up this morning basically and made my daily minimum, and then now I'm about to make it again. Currently short about $38, but it is pulling back just a little bit. So we'll see. Of course, this is leading up to the time that they're supposed to announce the last vote on the stimulus package. So if I start seeing things go out of hand, I'll pull out. But like I said, I'm feeling like things are already priced in. The SPY's picking back up a little bit. So is the QQQ. So let's see. Let's see what happens. That's all we can do. I'm down $45, $20 below my $1,500 mark. I have some give today, so I can give away a little bit and still be above my daily minimum and okay, because I'm currently up as much as I am. Currently up $256 today. Not much, but definitely still running. I'm about to start following your small account plays. I could use a 12x over any time frame. We're actually up 14x now. DPW dying. Steven said we can look at it real quick, see what's going on. Yeah, it is. 4 hours showing momentum loss, 1 hour showing reversal. It's that EMA fake out right there. That's what I call. That I always pay attention to, confirmations. You know what I'm saying? That's why I didn't jump into DPW too quick, because I would have bought options on this and would have got burned immediately. Going into today, because it gapped down as soon as the market opened. Which is why I posed the question to you yesterday, Steven, is at what point do you capture your gains? Because you can always replay the stock. A lot of people are worried about losing price averages and stuff, but ultimately it's about securing the profits you make in order to build your buying power. Just like I have over the past week. I'm not greedy. I know what my minimum is, which is about $108 to $114 a day. And I'm making that. And anything beyond that is just extra and basically speeding up my process. I'm currently up $250 about a day. For the day, $251 to be exact. About to hit my daily minimum twice, and I'm only an hour into the session. I need to track the markets overall, which you'll see is some pullback. And that's what I was expecting. So from market open, we're already starting to see some pullback across the markets. The VIX is picking up. It's up 1.4%. That flash you just saw was my page auto refreshing. It does that for me every 5 minutes. I'm going to mark this as a market transition period. QQQ looks like it's trying to round off on the 1 minute, but ultimately coming down on the 5 and the 1 hour. So I'm going to let that run. I just shot down my QQQ. Just shot down on me a little bit. Currently breaking even on it at $4. Let's see, what am I losing on? My 313s are down $7. My 300 puts are up $4.50. I'm still up 196 for today. Just went going positive again. So that's what I'll be watching going into today. Anything you guys want to look at while you still have me? I have some have a website to build, so that'll be my day's dedication while I watch these markets do what they're gonna do. Anything y'all want to look at other than SNDL and DBW? Ooh, the SPY just jumped back up to 389. Still showing momentum loss, in my opinion. Some slight weakness. It could pick up. I could be wrong, but the markets, all of the markets, look like they're trying to reverse a little bit. So I'm gonna watch them. What I've been really trying to focus on is my timing into these things, and I think that's key. It's not about the directional trade; it's about the entry ultimately to maximize the profits that you can get off of these. I still think that we're going to find some slight resistance around the 389 levels and some momentum loss. Rig, okay, I'll pull it up over here. As you can see, it looks like RMO probably topped out around those $12 levels. Just update on it for the people that are in the trade. Something to pay attention to. Rig. How do you feel about SNDL? We'll look at that next. Rig is actually propping up to rebound and retest those. Well, let me look. This could pull back actually. It could pull back and it might find some support along this this level here. You're gonna see a short bounce here and then bounce down. So look at it to find support about the 428. That's what I would say. And then SNDL, we were talking about it. It's breaking below that 136, Steven. Looks like it's trying to rebound, but it might find resistance above it. Still positive on my puts so far. Looks like I bought them at an opportune time. I could have bought those 313s when it was at 314. I wish I did, but I wanted to confirm that it was coming down first. So up 250 still. Broke 1500. You're right about point of entries and exits. Market is bipolar right now. Yeah. Man, and that's another thing. Like when I was starting the small account challenge last week, I was missing out on contracts that were jumping like 90%, 100% on some of these. You know what I'm saying? And it was really hindering my growth period. Like I feel like I would have been much further, but everything happens for a reason. I'm positioned very well. I can't complain. I want to sell it and throw 4,000 at DPW. DPW is pulling back too, though. So you know, I know you're focused mainly. The only reason you have a focus on SNDL is because you have the trade. DPL is bouncing off that 356, so I wouldn't be opposed to it. That's on the 5-minute. We're seeing some momentum swings. 10-minute slight pullback. What you might see is a mini crossover on the EMAs a little bit, but make sure that if you do that, it stays above that. What is that level? 356? Yeah. So I wouldn't be opposed to it. You and I both know that this is a $5-6 stock. If you were to throw 4K at it, you would get about a little bit over 1,000 shares, if I'm right, about 1,100 or something like that. And then it jumps $1.50. So you're looking at $1,500 win off DPW move. Overall, looking at the longer time frames, you want it to bounce off that 355. You want to watch it around the 460 or 455. It's $1 up, so you'll at least make $1,100 off that move. So if it moves up to 638, you're almost looking at 2x. So just my opinion. That's my thesis. Or am I doing that right? If what is 355? I got my calculator right here. So if you bought it right now, you would get right 5 shares short of 1,100 shares. And if it jumped up to 454, the difference on that is a little less than $1. That multiplied by this, you're looking at $975 off the win, off the trade if it jumps back up to 454. If it jumps to 638, you're looking at $2,900, bro. So there you go. Holding pretty strong on my puts. Feeling pretty good about them. QQQ breaking below 312 here shortly. Just did as we speak. Should see some jumps on those. The SPY still holding below 389 right now at 388.65. You see the rejections off that mid 34 EMA. That's why I use it. That's why it matters. And then I use my MACD and my RSI to see how high, how much sentiment's into it. I'm already back up another $108, $134, $311 for the day. I'm about to break $1,600 on my small account challenge, up 15x right now. As we speak, I'm $9 short of doing that, $1 short. So I'm making these dollars by the second. But anyways, yeah, you know, a lot of people, and there's something else I want to add. I wanted to ask the Facebook chat, but I'm going to ask you guys, and I meant to ask everybody while we had the most people in here. What about what I'm doing to you is standing out the most? What am I doing that is standing out the most to you? And I'll give you a few seconds, about probably 2 minutes to answer that question. I'm going to spend about 20 more minutes on this at tops. Like I said, I got a website to go build to make some more money on the side. So today, ultimately, I'll have like a $2,800 day for myself, and my daily minimum is 104. So I'm ultimately up about 28x with what the stock market's providing me. I just crossed 1,600. And if the markets pull back as hard as I think they're going to, I'm going to watch the SPY around the 387.37. It actually broke below that after hours in pre-market this morning. I expected to find some support there. I might hop out at that time. Already up $71, up another $200 right now on these puts that I did. QQQ is about to break 311. Hopefully it hits $300 because I might double my account. But anyways, what I'm getting at is I want to see if you're capturing what I'm doing here. So if you can give me your quick answers real quick, I'll wait a few more minutes. Haven't seen any answers yet, but like I said, I'm gonna wait for about another minute or so to see if you are recognizing how I am doing this. Just broke back below 1,600. The SPY picked up just a little bit. I need it below 388 right now, and QQQ is it bounced just a little bit, but ultimately I see these coming back. I see QQQ coming back to 300. I see the SPY coming back to, let me put it over here because it'll tell me, 376 is this next level of support, or 381, one or the other. Seems like I'm getting some pullback on it though. It's bouncing up and down, but ultimately the SPY is showing loss on the 5 minute. So even though the 1 minute is showing me a reversal, I'm still looking at loss on those levels. So I expect it to continue coming down. I want to see if you guys answer me at all. Okay, your overall version of analyst, which seems to be a conservatively aggressive. Also, you crossover method used to identify potential breakouts over time. I hope to fully understand. So, also looking to learn more about options in general. The puts free shares ride method is insanely intuitive. Definitely looking at implementing it myself once I can make better reads. Okay, so what I'm doing is I made most of this account money last week during the market downturn. What I'm doing is, just to identify it a little bit better, is I'm using the market swings in order for me to allocate profits elsewhere. I've only been using about $300 on the SPY this entire time. I used the SPY to build it up from that $100 to $300 price range, and then I used the SPY to separate or segment those $300 that I gained into shifts. So basically an upswing shift for $100, gain off of that, and then when it reverses, a downshift. And then it never reversed back to the upside. So I bought another put and it brought it back down some more. So it picked it up. I hit $600. took a loss like on, I think, Wednesday, and a little bit on Thursday. I broke even, back to my losses, and then no, I came back down to like 380 something by Thursday. On Friday, I made $400, and that put me at like 777. So then I came into the market on Monday, and people were like, "You're trying to short the market after the Senate just passed?" Yes, I shorted the market, and it died out again. And I made, I don't even remember what I made on Monday. I think it was like another $300, and then I made another $200 yesterday or something like that. Or I think it was 200 Monday, 200 today, which put me at like 1,400. And now I'm at like 1,600, and I'm shorting the markets again. Short term, day swings on these, by the way. I'm not saying that the market's going to pull back entirely, but that's just the signals that I'm seeing based off of my momentum swings. And I'm still up about $52 on those puts right now. I was up to $1,600. I'm breaking back below $1,500 right now, but I'm still up 216, which is almost 2 times my daily minimum. So then, in identifying what my daily minimum is, I'm able to determine, okay, where are my break even points. But honestly, I'm still early to the game to fully understand. I understand market movement and trends based on the SPY, but still too scared. I would see more stock recommendation buys on a daily basis. Honestly, I would. Yeah. So, the SPY is currently picking up. I'm currently losing money now. And I'm assuming that is coming from news on the stimulus. I'm already down $22. I'm looking for news to see what's going on. But regardless, I think I'm going to have to hop off of here so I can get to work. It's already about to be 10 o'clock. I wanted to watch this with you a little bit longer. I need to tend to the fam before I get started working. Give my wife a break with the baby. And thank you all for joining. Like I said, please always share. If you're new here, let me know. I'm going to add my my Facebook link in here so you can add me on Facebook. That way I can add you to the chat room that we have, and you can talk to me all day. Ask me any question you want to. If you have any trade reviews, feel free to hit me up in the Facebook group, and let me know. I'm going to build out a form on here so that I can allow you to just submit them, and I can track them and do them in order that way. That way you can ask about them any time of the day. Seeing some rejections on the SPY. Come on back down for me. Depending on how it reacts to that 389 level, 389.90 level, determines if I'm going to hold these. Currently down $34, so I have some wiggle room to hold on. Oh wait, $28 overall. That's 600 and whatever, $654 put option I bought on QQQ is only down $20 right now, so that's the one I'm worried about. It's not even the SPY call that I made, which I did pay $437 on, or $443, so it is concerning, but $600 is much more that I'm concerned about. Just broke below $1,400 because of those pullbacks. Sorry, just got an email. Give me a second. Only down $37 overall, even with these pop-ups on the markets. If it bounces above that 389.90, I'm going to get out of here. And on QQQ, pull it up on my other screen too, so I can have it running on the side. It's back above 312. But if you look at it on the 1 hour, we have some momentum loss coming in play. And that's where you see this dip. You see that dip right there? I can expect this to dip at least $8 once that comes into play. And it tends, another thing I want to point out is you see this EMA crossover right here and the MACD. and how the MACD lines are above the actual grid. When it pulls back, it pulled back from 324 and dropped down to 300. So if this drops $24, and this was in a matter of days though, but if it conducts this, like if I would have bought the puts tomorrow, I probably would see like a $20 drop in the QQQ. Currently down $47 as I wait. But you guys have followed me in doing this, and I have lost money, a little bit of money, before I actually made all the money that I was going to make. But I have my limits too. I'm not going to just let this thing ride out ultimately, because I'm thinking in my head that, hey, these are going to go down, you know. I see some people are hopping off on here. Like I said, hit me up on a Facebook group if you have any questions. You want to review some things. I'll try to give you guys an update later today on you know, how these turned out for me, where the current small account challenge is, and you know, if we made any money off of them. We made money overall on the day, and I'm not gonna let it go below my daily minimum. That's my restriction, so I have some wiggle room, and that's why I'm letting it play out a little bit. The SPY is currently trying to ramp up on me, but I think it's going to break out a little bit. It might do its double dip RSI before it falls, so we might be a little bit later in the day before we actually see this play out. But QQQ is already at its peak of its channel that it's been trading in, and it's finding rejections, as you can see now, already working on dropping below 312. So I'll give you guys an update. Oh, already back up above $200, so that quick in a change. Some strong rejections is all I ever need, and it'll give me that faith to keep pushing forward the way I am. Back above $1,400, making my way back above 15. But if you have any questions, we can do some side sessions if you want to. We can get on some individual sessions. I'm more than welcome to, open to do that with you, to kind of help you understand this a little bit more. I'm trying to let people learn how to do options with me actively doing them before I start pushing those types of trades out. With the markets showing signs of pulling back, I won't be pushing out any trade alerts for any of our members here, just to let you know. But this is our trade alert, and I'm actively doing it as a way to train at the same time, so that when we do get into a bullish market again, we're able to gauge our options a lot better. So I know a lot of services will just push out option trades, and people will buy them and they lose money because they don't know how to get in and out carefully. So right now, just last update on the account, I'm back up above 220 for the day. Still crossing $20 short of $1,500. If somebody wants to give me $20, I can be above that. No, I'm just playing. Actually, $4 short of it just in the time we were speaking. So $1 short of it. And once it hits 1,500, I'm going to hop off. 1,500. All right. So I'll get with you guys later, hopefully to give you an update. If not, I'll catch you up on tomorrow's coffee and stock sessions. Like I said, hit me up on Facebook. I'll add you to the free chat group. Otherwise, thank you for showing your support. Always feel free to invite people to join us by sharing the link. If you haven't already, I'm pretty sure all of these people are our subscribers that have joined us. Other than that, look for some trade review videos on any breakout stocks, like I said, just to make sure you're not holding them back. If you see a stock breakout, at least do your technical analysis to find the best entry if you're interested in getting into it. It's the best advice I can ever give you. Otherwise, have a good day. Good luck trading. I hope you're paying attention to what I'm trying to provide you. And these market pullbacks that we're seeing temporarily, it might be short term, but you know, capture some of the gains you may have acquired from yesterday.